Good morning, good evening, good night, family caregivers, older persons. Welcome back to Lana's Little Things with me, Dr. Lana, specialist gerontologist. Channel where we talk all things on living agelessly, bridging family, generational, and other generational gaps. Family caregiving, the joys and the not so joys, entrepreneurship, and just life itself. And I can't believe that this year is just melting away. Do you feel that way? I it just feels like this year went by like that. And we have been talking a lot. Well, of course, we did have the entire month of November dedicated to family. Well, among other things, family caregivers, men's health, and as well as diabetes month. So, but December always brings joys and challenges. The end of a year will always bring some sort of reflection, some sort of memories and other things. Some good, not so good. And as you hear me talking, you'll remember yours. But focusing in December, my focus in December, the general focus in December four is for family caregivers because it is full. I mean, those of you who would have had Thanksgiving, we don't have that in Barbados. We didn't have settlers. We had a different history altogether. But I trust you enjoyed your time. But at any point, we are in, for the most part, around the world in a holiday season. And so that time can just be challenging. You know why? Because dementia, caregiving, illness, chronic illness, chronic day to day responsibilities of caregiving, especially with a person with dementia, family, spouse, whatever, that doesn't take a break. That doesn't know that it's December. That doesn't know, it does not have any regard or understanding or change for because it's the holidays. And many caregivers, we know, persons seem to think, oh, you can get to relax. Every single day, it's the same thing. Meal times, medication, feeding, changing, whatever else is required. It goes on every day. It's like clockwork because it has to be done. Because guess what? It doesn't change during the holidays. And family members sometimes don't understand because they're not in it. They don't see why you can't come to at least one gathering, why you have to spend probably at least 3 to 4 days to plan for 12 hours or 6 hours to just get out and be on your own. And by the time you're finished planning that, you're so exhausted, you just don't go. But how? So this December is the rest of this month is just dedicated for you. And I have a special challenge, special rewind challenge, um, by popular demand. That's going to be coming back from in 2 weeks' time. So look out for that. And that takes us right into the new year, all for you. What we're going to talk about. So this week and next week, I'm just going to discuss 5 tips just to get through for your own mental health, one, and also to see if for the 47,000th time you can at least one family member can understand, hey, oh, this isn't as straightforward as it seems. It's you're in it every day. You're in it every day. When you're in it every day, you know what your challenges are. So let's see. We looked last week why family self care is so important. And we're not just going to be talking about self care, we're going to talk about managing the holiday time for those of you who do celebrate the holiday time or have relatives who do, and you are the one taking care of that other relative, and how you can kind of meet in the middle, um, and everybody can end as friends. Yeah, I mean, life is just so short. It's just too short for nonsense, as we say here in Barbados. So, wherever you are, Welcome. So last, we're going to do 5 tips, right? Starting with tip number one or suggestion number one. You can tell me you probably tried these lots of times. These have been repeated, but it's good for a reminder. One is prioritize and simplify the traditions. Okay, so if you do celebrate whatever holiday might be in your country, you don't have to do every single tradition, every single event, every single time, every single day or the week or the whatever. Your days are fixed. Your times are fixed. The activities, the caring is fixed. So it is it is not fair to you. It's just is asking. It's a big ask and a too much ask to for you and also for others to expect that you can fulfill every single request and every single thing and do every single thing that you used to do before life had changed. Don't feel that. Don't give in to that pressure. And for family members who are not actively in the caregiving, sometimes there's just no way that you can explain it to them. But please understand, this is not. It's not. It's not easy. It is not for the faint-hearted. It goes every day. It doesn't change like that. So a little grace with the space, as we say here, just give some understanding. So what you can do as caregiver, focus on just one or two of the most meaningful things, the best memories you and your loved one had. If they can get out, you can drive out and look at lights. If they want music, and that helps. If they can move and you can dance, or if you can talk about the times, or if you can just put together, you know, a small trinket that they remember, and just let the rest go. Just make it easy. No big meal preps. We're not doing, you know, harvest feast. It can be simple and be joyful. The times are for family, not for excess. And you just need to, it just needs to just run as smoothly as possible. It won't, but it needs to. What's the second one? Kind of related to the first one, but this is more for you. Be realistic in what you and your loved one can handle. They can't handle loud noise, if they can't handle being outside for long periods, if dementia by now has progressed and they've gone to a point where they don't recognize everybody, they don't know where they are. The lights change. Sundowning goes gets way worse if they change positions, change venues, have to be transported. Consider that. Consider that that's a big ask for them, and it may not be possible. We just ruin the whole time because they're distraught, and some might just get some do get very agitated, restless, and it just doesn't end well. So if you know that from past times that happens, then that kind of gives you an idea of what will happen next time, especially as time goes on. It just progresses. It's okay. So here's the point for you as a caregiver. You know what? Yes, we talked just now about um, simplifying and maybe one or two things, but you know what? The answer might just have to be no. I can't, or I can only come for an hour. Again, that's going to take days sometimes in preparation, and it might not just be possible. So can at least two or three familiar people come to you? Communicate though. Communicate. Please let your family members. Don't just spring it on them like, but I can't handle this. But this has been like this. This doesn't change every day. They don't understand. They get it. It just does not go that far. And that's not a limitation on their part. It's not them being mean or not understanding. You're in it every day. You know what it's like. If you have to say no, say no. But don't deprive yourself. If you do want to go, you want to plan, then here's we're going to point number three. Schedule. We just talked about scheduling. Schedule your break time. Schedule that respite care. It might take days. Okay, fine. Let it take days. Start planning from now. Maybe we could have started planning from last month. But hey, we are where we are. But you need a break. things are hectic, you still want, if you celebrate, you still want to enjoy what there is to enjoy and not feel as though the entire year has gone by and you've lived a hermit's life. You've lived with nothing happening in your life for you. For you, Kadir. Another Bajan expression. Just, it's kind of a little ugh, unreasonable to expect that you don't need a break and you shouldn't take a break. Give yourself that grace. Schedule the care. So arrange for the professional carer to stay a little longer. Ask family members to contribute, those who can, to contribute maybe to the funds to get them, have them stay, the transportation to get the person there if they're going. But you're ready, if you want to go on your own, arrange for someone to stay, the familiar person, the usual paid caregiver if you have one, or just engage services of someone who is professional and who can stay for the time that you need, even if it's just for a few hours. You just want to attend a little family get together. You might want to get involved in activities. You might want to get involved in singing, whatever you do. Don't wait till you're too exhausted and then fret and then say, you know what, I should have gone, but I was too tired. This is for you. Do it for you. All right. If you all do get to go together, that creates planning too. That needs planning as well. When you go, you first of all, it's family gatherings usually and close friends, so you know the area. Can you or you may not, but even if you know the area, it should really be familiar. But ask the person, it's relative. You know the quiet rooms, friend. You know the quiet rooms. Choose a low stimulus room, a quiet room where they can feel, you can feel, and they can retreat. When everybody's saying, "Hi, how are you?" and they're looking blank, and it's just kind of distressing. When everybody feels like, okay, I don't know what to do now. Make sure that their appropriate meals have been sorted. Noise and activity, you know when that starts to buzz out. So retreat to a quiet room. You're not hiding, you're just safeguarding because you want the night's rest to be a night's rest. And that the entire event went pleasantly. And everybody can just smile and have good memories. And the fifth one for now. And this one is a little bit bigger. Delegate. If you're going to go somewhere, or you might decide not so much, but there are some who think they who can manage. Maybe you hosting at your home because you don't want to leave. That's reasonable. Then delegate. Have a specific task for everyone. Ask them first. What can we manage? Let's have a meeting. Can who will go for the groceries? Who's gonna set the table? Who's gonna do the decorating? Who's gonna be? How are you gonna arrange shift times that day to spend with the person in care? Again, communicate gently and find out what everyone can do. Everyone may not be able to or like what you might have for them. So say here's a list and can I have a tick on who will do what and then I will do whatever. Just five simple tasks, one hand. So let's go over that. Simplify traditions, manage your expectations, yours and the other person's. If you do decide to go, do it for yourself and have respite care. If both of you are going, have a quiet space and then delegate. Sounds easy? It ain't. It's just, it is a list for your reference so that you can then go from there and you and family can discuss. You want it to be a joyful time, you want it to be a happy time, you want it to be memorable, you want everybody to just end with a smile and not an exhausted frown like we ain't doing this again next year. No, you want it to be nice. So from my heart to yours, trust this was helpful. What works for you? Let me know. And we will see each other next week for part 2 of the next 5. Mwah.